If there is one common problem every English learner has faced or is still facing, and I think in upcoming time they are still going to face that problem is speaking on a single topic. I face that. I know you are also facing that problem. Whenever somebody starts asking questions to us on a single topic, we are not able to hold that conversation. We start repeating the same thing, or our mind goes completely blank. But there is a solution for it. I have constructed this English course where I come up with one single topic and I provide different kinds of questions, vocabulary, format, so that you never run out of content and words and you can hold a conversation for at least 5 to 10 minutes. If you are new on my channel, hello everyone, my name is Roshan. Here I talk about English learning books and movies. And this series of video is called a Spoken English series, and today we are talking about free time. This is an universal question. Every time somebody asks us that what do you do in your free time? What do we say? We watch reels, we watch movies, and then we run out of things to talk about. But I don't think after watching this video you will face that problem again. So we are going to follow the same format. What do I mean by the word format? Beginners are unable to come up with sentence structures. So here I give you basically sentence structure which you have to repeat, and automatically you will see a pattern and your brain will recognize that. And I think you can simply copy it, or maybe you can add your own elements. Vocabulary. Without vocabulary, we cannot hold a conversation, can we? But what kind of words do we need to remember? That's another problem. But whatever I discuss in this section is related to only one topic. So you get a context, you get adjectives, and you never run out of ideas to talk about. Phrases are simply like cooked food. I serve them and you just have to repeat after me. Let's talk about the most important section, which I believe, especially for the beginners who are not able to form sentences, they don't have partners, and even if they can answer a few questions, they're not able to make sentences. So here I provide 20 conversational questions. I answer them and you just have to listen and repeat after me. And I think you know the pattern. I sweat in this room and then we move on in our actual room. So let's go. So here we are. And before I start the topic, if you want to learn English in one-on-one English classes or group sessions, you can just drop me a message on my number or my email ID. Now let's start the format with a very simple question. What do you usually do when you are free? In my free time, I usually spend time reading books. And that's the reason why I'm able to finish these two bookshelves. And also, I am a very big movie guy. So I like to watch movies. This is the format that you can follow. I like to watch movies, journal, go for a walk, hang out with friends, or listen to podcasts when I get some time off. It helps me feel lighter, refreshed, recharged, or free. Next question is, do you enjoy being alone or around people? It depends. But because of my work, I have to spend a lot of my time here in this room. So I think I am so used to being alone right now that sometimes it gets really uncomfortable hanging out with friends. But I don't want to make any excuses. I love hanging out with people. And whenever I get a chance, I go out with my friends or I go for a walk. But mostly because of my work and my nature, I'm stuck in this room. This is the format. I usually prefer spending time alone with one or two close people or in a crowd depending on my mood. Sometimes silence is the best thing for me. I think it depends on individuals. Some people prefer to stay alone or some people just like to be in the company. The next question is there any habit or hobbies you stick to? I know you can guess the answer. For the past 4 or 5 years, I have been reading a lot. Like I started with reading comics, and that's how I built this habit of reading. And now, whenever I get some free time, I start reading a fictional book. Or even if I don't get free time, I try to make a slot for it. So that's one hobby which I have been following very passionately, and watching movies. So these two things, I can miss anything in the world, but not these two hobbies at the moment. For the past 4 or 5 years, movies and books, they have been there for me. This is the format. One thing I always try to do is read a few pages, stretch a little, go offline for a while, or work on a hobby. It helps me stay balanced, creative, peaceful, and consistent. Next, is there something you do without even realizing it? On the name of content creation, I just consume too much. For example, I go on Insta and without even realizing, I waste some 30 minutes, 45 minutes, and then I feel guilty. And I don't realize it while doing that work. Once I'm done with it, after some 30 or 40 minutes are wasted, then I realize, dude, I need to get back to my work. Here is the format. Yes, I often find myself scrolling social media, replaying old songs, doodling, cleaning, or daydreaming. It happens without planning. Next question is, what is one thing you want to do more often? one thing which I want to do more often is traveling and creating content. I want to talk to people. I want to go out there and speak publicly. I live in a small town, and I have been giving this excuse for such a long time that I am not able to find guests with whom I can have my Sasta podcast. But what can I do? But that's one thing. I want to record more real life podcast, meet more people, travel more. Here is the format. I wish I spent more of my free time exploring new places, learning skills, staying offline, or doing something physical. It would probably make me feel more fulfilled, clear headed, energetic, or content. So, this was a very simple format. I think you can definitely speak more than 5 minutes if you start following this format. Now, let's move on to our next segment, that is modern phrases. The first one is I totally lost track of time. For example, when you are working on some project, watching a movie, and you didn't even realize that it was 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, and that's what it means, completely losing the track of time. Second, that's my favorite way to relax. It literally means what it is written here. Watching movies and reading books are my favorite way to relax. Next, it's my chill time ritual. It may sound fancy, but it is not. You can simply use it for activity that you do. Drinking coffee and reading book, that's my chill time ritual. Next, I love doing nothing sometimes. I want more people to relate with this phrase, and if you are not able to, just follow it. Next, it helps me clear my head. Running helps me clear my head. If I work out for at least 30 minutes, it makes me tired, but at the same time, it clears my head. Next, that's how I reset after a long day. Long day simply means when you had a very rough day or very busy day. For example, watching a movie or hanging out with my friends is my way to reset after a long day. Next, it's my personal escape. The word escape simply means when you are avoiding something, when you are running away from something. For example, if you don't want to take responsibility, what do? You go on Insta and you start scrolling reels. So basically, you are escaping from your responsibilities. So my personal escape is reading books. Next, it keeps me sane. If I don't go for running, I don't think I can keep myself sane. So running keeps me sane. Next, I can't go day without it. I can't go a day without watching reels. I was gonna say reading books, but these days I'm procrastinating a lot. So for something which you are not able to resist, there you can use I can't go a day without it. So that covers our modern phrases. Now let's move on to vocabulary section. Here I'll read it for you, and again your job is to make sentences. And if you don't understand the meaning, just Google it or leave a comment. I'll explain it for you. Hobby, distraction, recharge, creative, escape, spontaneous, solitude, screen time, scroll, refresh, boredom, peaceful, digital detox, binge watch, reflect, mindful, routine, recharge. The second segment of vocabulary is adjectives, and adjectives are simply used to describe something. So here, all these adjectives are used to describe your free time and the activities that you do. The words are relaxing, calming, peaceful, slow, spontaneous, refreshing, creative, solitary, mindful, random, enjoyable, necessary, playful, low pressure, flexible, lazy, screen heavy, energizing, fulfilling, and stress free. Now, let's move on to the most important segment of the video, that is conversational questions. Here, I'll ask questions, I'll answer them, and your job is to repeat after me. You can just copy me, imitate me, or you can add your own elements. So, the first question is there something fun you do that others might find boring? I find reading very fun activity, but a lot of people are not able to concentrate and they think that it's a very boring activity that you have to pay attention all the time. But in my case, I do it so naturally now that if I'm not doing it, I feel bored. And lately, I have been enjoying writing. It's not that I'm writing a lot, but whenever I feel like I have to get my mind clear, I start writing. So these two activities are helping me to relax, and a lot of people find it boring. Next, what is one habit you have picked up in your free time lately? I have always had a very bad relationship with social media, but there was a time when I had complete control over it. I didn't watch even a single reel. But nowadays, in the name of inspiration, I spend hours like just looking for some content, or those videos that are so good that I'm not able to stop myself. So that's one habit I have picked up. Next, how often do you spend time offline? Just doing nothing. I won't say that I don't do anything, but yeah, I go offline whenever I go for a run. I try to run every day or at least 5 days per week. And there I run, I relax, I stretch my body. And that's one time when I'm not on the internet, or even if I'm on the internet, I'm not paying much attention. It's just listening to music or listening to an audiobook. Next, do you think boredom is important sometimes? I think boredom is currency of creativity. If you want to be a creative person or if you want to create something, then only one advice I can give you to you and myself also, that I have to become bored. Like every time we feel that silence in our head, where do we go? We start scrolling, we start chatting with somebody, or we just start looking for something that will keep us entertained. But no, if you want to create something, if you want to learn something, then you have to be bored. And especially for viewers who are trying to improve their fluency, I would say stop consuming and start creating. While you are creating, you will feel bored, and that's when you will start enjoying this process. So take one advice from this video and be bored. Next, what's your favorite time of day to relax? Every day I get some free time in the afternoon where I don't have any classes. So that's when I relax. Sometimes I take a nap, or sometimes I just think for some ideas. So yeah, afternoon is the time when I relax. Next, if you had a full free day, how would you spend it? Probably watching a movie and reading a book and then documenting that. There is a word called performative reading. It means that you want to show others that I'm a reader. You are not actually reading for the sake of reading, but to show others that you want to read. And I don't want to go in that category. I do like to document myself whenever I'm reading. So yeah, if I had a full day without any problems or without any work, I would just read book or document my thoughts. Next, have you ever discovered a new hobby accidentally? Running is one hobby that I would say I discovered accidentally, because I have always been a very lazy guy. I'm still a very lazy person, but one day I came across this video of David Goggins. Usually he was literally shouting that go, run, run. And I listened to him. And that's when I realized that, running is difficult, but at the same time, I really enjoy the after effects. Like right now in my life, nothing makes me more happier than completing a run. Next, how much of your free time goes to screens? The thing is that I have to spend almost half of my day on the screen, because I'm taking classes and I'm trying to create something almost every day. So in my free time, I try to stay away from it and try to spend that free time on books. Next, do you make time for yourself every day or only on weekends? I try to make time, but on weekends, I record those virtual podcasts, and sometimes I record solo videos. But yeah, weekends, I think those 2 days are for me. I spend doing whatever things I want to do. I don't give any priority to myself that you have to complete this task within this timeline. So yeah, weekends are for me. Next, what helps you feel like your time was well spent? I think if I'm able to create a good video and I'm satisfied with that, that's when I feel that my time was spent in a good manner. Otherwise, even reading, going for a run, or talking to my friends, it also makes me feel good. So these were our 10 questions. I'll leave the rest of the 10 questions here. You can just practice them. And again, if you want to learn English in one-on-one classes or in group sessions, you can drop me a message on this number. And if you have watched this part, thank you so much for watching. Please leave a comment, share this video with your friend who is trying to learn English. And if you want to support the channel, please subscribe. And yeah, I'll see you in another video.